Moving on, Apple has a new patent number 8,245,902, to allow disabling of iPhone cameras on a location-specific basis. And the fear, of course, because of all the intimidation we've seen of cameramen around the country, particularly at political events, is that this will eventually be deployed during protests, political events, other special events, anything considered national security, to make sure no unauthorized footage can come out, to make sure that citizen journalists will be harassed but also suppressed, and that they won't even be able to record their footage. They're also saying the legitimate uses would be in places like movie theaters and academic institutions, I guess, to keep people from copyright infringement or from cheating using their iPhones. Well, the point is, you paid for these iPhones. Part of the feature that drew you to the iPhones was the awesome cameras they have. It's great how you can film stuff on the scene and spontaneously get footage up to the web. In fact, we were told that was the big Democratic push in the Arab Spring, how these repressive Middle Eastern regimes would never let out information about what's going on in their countries, but these spontaneous rebels on the ground there were able to break that wall and get things up to the internet, thanks to these new tech firms. But now, all that despotic regime stuff is, of course, really solidifying, cementing at home, not just coming here, but becoming hardened, embattled. And they've got a new toy to play with that would erect a geofence and prevent people from filming in unauthorized locations. Just despicable, as there's this continued harassment of photographers, you name it. In fact, Linda West has the story that came out last night about how the LAPD is now arresting photographers. They've had a new policy on the books for a little over a year now, and really their real policy was already in place as far back as 2008, that they consider anyone taking pictures of infrastructure or government buildings or anything else they decide is suspicious is terroristically suspicious. And you've seen the training videos. We have them in films like Fall of the Republic and Obama Deception, of the FBI's counterterrorism training manuals, where they look in the back seats of cars and see sleeping bags and binoculars and say that could be a terrorist camping out in a car. And also, anyone with a camera has to be run through the terror database and checked against the watch list, because photography is really a dangerous thing. It's all because these despots don't want their activities recorded on tape. They don't want to be held accountable. That's the whole point of tyranny. You don't want to counter opposition. So they've got a new basis in L.A. to harass photographers, and if this is allowed to take root, it's going to spread across the whole country. They've got cases, for instance, of Gregory Moore, who was threatened with arrest and put in handcuffs because he was taking pictures on his front lawn, and there was a courthouse in the background. Stuff like that is going on. Of course, it's double for anyone covering political events, trying to cause a stir, trying to hold places accountable, as our reporters did at the airports, which is specifically the place that the LAPD is saying is illegal to film at. There is no law against filming at airports, of TSA checkpoints, but they don't want that stuff in the news because they know they're doing very controversial things. They just want the public to accept it. But here it is in the codes. It's all just a policy, and we're told it's against the law. Of course, it isn't. And of course, the potential for technological harassment has hit home once again. We've got the story up on InfoWars about how Russell Bowden, our new editor of the InfoWars magazine, the print version, got a call from the NSA, and this is just the system letting you know that's the house we built. We're going to spy on you because spy tech companies built up that thing. Sure, technology is double-edged. Yeah, it could be used for good to hold government tyrants accountable, to document other kinds of abuse in non-government sectors, but when you get right down to it, we control the back doors. That's the message the NSA wants you to know, and we've seen it in the buildup in the infrastructure. The 1997 Telecommunications Act, passed under Clinton, mandated that your money as a consumer and your money as a taxpayer would go to fund the government's backdoors into all the technology, the emerging cell phones, the television, all of it, the internet especially, and they want you to know you are under surveillance. That's how they're going to use that technology. So when you see stuff like the iPhones having these kill switches for camera functions and everything else, that's the way the system is going to control it. Even though it's a very liberating technology, seems to have good uses, the real use that the government's going to have for it is all in there. And you've seen the executive orders reissued under Obama, but issued under past presidents for a takeover of communications. Any despotic regime is going to control communications because they have to control the perception of their phony government, their illegitimate government, their unconstitutional government. And we're seeing it here with the treatment of photographers as though they were suspected terrorists, guilty until proven innocent as usual.
For more than 6 years, I've talked on the air about creating a social network. PlanetInfoWars.com is in its beta phase. We're just launching it. And I want to invite all of you out there to be in on the ground level. Planet InfoWars is about people coming together, forming activist organizations, getting involved politically, hunting and fishing, gardening, dating. This is a place for people who love freedom to meet and to talk and to write and to post information. And I give you this pledge. We are not going to spy on you and sell your data to the New World Order. PlanetInfoWars.com is free, so people who love freedom can get together, connect with people who are awake and know what we're facing. Be active, organize, take action, go viral, create, contribute, resist, because resistance is victory. You are victory. It's waiting for you to breathe power into it. PlanetInfoWars.com. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.